Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to completely deconstruct the massive, invisible machine behind KFC, one of the most famous fried chicken brands in the world, to try and understand the absolute miracle of global scale. I want you to picture this. It's a Friday night rush. Neon signs are glowing in hundreds of different cities all over the globe. Inside those kitchens, there's this wild cinematic symphony of beeping fryers, rapid-fire ticket printers, and expediters just shouting out orders. Millions of pieces of chicken are being battered, fried, packed, and handed over to hungry customers at the exact same time. Honestly, it's a highly choreographed ballet of operations. Just one misstep in a single kitchen can ripple across an entire continent. So how does this invisible machine actually work without completely breaking down under all that pressure? Let's find out. So let's kick things off by posing the terrifying operational question that faces literally any fast food giant trying to deliver identical meals across wildly different cultures. If you have thousands of restaurants staffed by completely different people, facing distinct supply chain hurdles, and serving customers with entirely different expectations, how on earth do you make the brand experience feel identical everywhere? Well, the answer isn't magic. It's an intense, completely unyielding dedication to operational efficiency.
To truly grasp the gravity of this challenge, consider this staggering number: 63,000. That is the number of restaurants operated or franchised globally by Yum! Brands, the parent company of KFC, spanning across 155 countries and territories. When you're operating at a scale where customers in Dubai, London, Lahore, Bangkok, and Johannesburg all walk through your doors on the exact same day, delivering a familiar, perfectly replicated experience isn't just hard. It practically borders on a logistical miracle.
Let's move to Section 1, the power of standardization.
This right here is the very first crucial gear of the operational machine, turning thousands of independent locations into a single, unified system. These standardized operating procedures, they aren't just polite suggestions. They are the absolute law of the kitchen. You can't just perform key tasks randomly, or differently shift by shift, or based on an individual cook's creative judgment. No way. Cooking times are rigidly controlled, food safety is monitored to the absolute letter, and packaging is instantly recognizable. And why does this matter to you? Because if one single restaurant cuts a corner on a busy Friday night rush and delivers a terrible experience, the customer doesn't blame that specific shift manager. They blame the entire brand. Brand consistency relies entirely on an unyielding adherence to these strict operating procedures.
Moving right along to Section 2, localizing the core experience.
Now we're looking at a super delicate balancing act. The system has to balance that rigid global standardization we just talked about with the absolute necessity of local adaptation. On one side, we have the core brand identity. Chicken, speed, value, convenience, and familiarity. That DNA never changes. But on the other side, local tastes completely command the menu. Some markets demand way spicier flavor profiles. Others expect rice-based meals, some prioritize delivery-first convenience, and others want these massive family sharing formats. If you have too much standardization, a brand becomes hopelessly rigid and tone-deaf to the local culture. But too much localization, that completely destroys its identity. So they protect the core process of how the food is made while dynamically adopting what is actually offered.
Next up is Section 3, supply chains and franchising.
Think about the rapid, completely hidden journey required long before a hungry customer ever steps up to a cash register. The discipline here is just breathtaking. Chicken must be sourced safely from vetted agricultural partners. Cold chain controls have to perfectly protect product quality during hundreds of miles of transit. And demand forecasting? It has to predict exactly what those thousands of restaurants will need to prevent catastrophic shortages or massive food waste. Speed in fast food doesn't start at the fryer, guys. Speed begins miles and miles away from the actual kitchen. Because if the supply chain fails, the entire customer experience collapses instantly, no matter how skilled the cooks are.
And when expanding this massive footprint, there's a central principle that defines their franchising model: local ownership, global discipline. Franchising allows for rapid, explosive global expansion because local operators provide the financial capital and the vital market knowledge. But that obviously creates a massive risk, right? What if the local owner goes rogue and just ignores the global standards? Well, the brand counters this by acting as the ultimate orchestra conductor. They enforce relentless training, rigorous audits, and strict performance monitoring. The brand provides the flawless system, and the franchisee executes it.
Okay, let's zoom in. Section 4, the kitchen speed matrix. Going all the way down to the chaotic restaurant floor, you might think the primary goal of a fast food kitchen is just moving as fast as humanly possible. But sheer speed creates chaos. People bump into each other, orders get dropped, mistakes are made. The true goal is actually establishing predictability. The objective isn't purely rushing around. It's being able to predict exactly how long a task will take every single time, down to the very second.
Because predictability breeds true speed. A fast food kitchen is entirely designed around flow: prep, cook, pack, handoff. Orders must move uninterrupted through this gauntlet. If just one single station, let's say the packing station, stumbles or becomes unpredictable, a bottleneck forms, and delays compound instantly. A delay in cooking creates wait times, and a delay in packing creates huge, angry queue pressures. Uninterrupted, predictable flow is absolutely everything.
And when you perfectly combine that predictability and speed, you achieve scale. That precise, rapid flow is exactly what allows these kitchens to serve massive, overwhelming volumes of food under extreme pressure, hour after hour, without collapsing. Once you perfect that exact operational rhythm in one single kitchen, you possess the blueprint to replicate that success worldwide. It's brilliant.
Which brings us to Section 5, Digital Operations and Modern Efficiency.
The fast food landscape has grown immensely complex. The days of simply serving a single line of walk-in customers, those are entirely over. Today, a modern kitchen is basically a technological battleground. They have to seamlessly juggle competing order channels simultaneously. You've got walk-in customers glaring at the counter, aggressive delivery riders waiting for immediate pickups, online mobile app orders firing off from miles away, and cars stacking up endlessly in the drive-thru lanes. To survive this onslaught, brands rely heavily on kitchen display systems, digital demand forecasting, and real-time data dashboards to reduce friction.
But here is a vital reality check. Digital tools amplify operational discipline. They do not replace it. All the AI demand forecasting, sleek customer loyalty screens, and sophisticated mobile apps in the world will crash and burn if the underlying physical kitchen processes aren't already strictly disciplined. Technology is a powerful multiplier, for sure, but it is never a fix for a broken, disorganized kitchen.
Let's wrap this up with Section 6, Lessons in Operational Efficiency.
So, here are the 5 golden rules of this machine. 1. Scale depends entirely on repeatable processes. 2. Standardization is the absolute shield that protects brand consistency. 3. Local adaptation is totally necessary, but it must never weaken the core brand identity. 4. Supply chain reliability is the true driver of service quality. And 5. Digital tools only work when they're built on top of disciplined physical processes. Delivering millions of identical, hot, safe, and familiar meals isn't just about having a really good recipe. It is a logistical miracle, driven by rigorous, unyielding systems.
I'll leave you with this final thought to consider. Whether you're running a business, managing a team, or just trying to organize your own intricate projects. As we've seen today, true scale isn't just about opening more locations, securing more funding, or simply doing more things. It is about making sure every single unit beats perfectly to the exact same drum. So ask yourself, what is the rhythm of your system? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep asking how the world behind the scenes truly works.